Alright, so the best thing about Target stock and NECA is that you don't have to buy the whole set anymore. Like when you buy this stuff online, you usually have to buy the whole set. Then you get characters that you kind of really want. You wish you would have saw them on clearance or something like that. Now you just walk in the store, you pick the ones you want, you leave the ones that you don't. And if you see those on clearance someday in the future, well, then you can pick them up then. Like this set. There was 3 figures in the set. These things are like $26, like after tax and everything. That's insane. That's so expensive for an action figure. So I went ahead and passed on this one with the silver armor. I got the broken Tusk and the chick one. That, man, I was just looking forward to this. I try to only get the movie stuff, but I thought that these two just look so cool. And yes, I probably should have passed on them, or at least him. The chick one was a definite must. And then I'm still sitting on this Comic-Con exclusive Predator figure, Rick Hawkins, whatever, Rick. So we'll go ahead and take a good look at him now. And a question to you guys. How many Predators do you think ran this thing? Okay, come on guys. You know she's doing at least one of them. Let's check them out. Alright, we got them all lined up for you. Can check the scale. This is a 7-inch scale, not a 6-inch scale, so they're a little bit bigger than what you're used to. You got Rick down here standing about 6.5 inches tall. Then you have, excuse me. Then you have Machiko here in the middle. She's basically the same height as him. And then you have the Predator, Broken Trust, standing right at about 8 inches tall, and I love that. That just, man, those just look really good. We'll go ahead and start with Rick. First off with Rick, it comes with a really cool knife. Painted really well. The handle on the knife is too small to fit in any of his hands. That's kind of why I put it right there. It'll probably fall out. He also comes with a pistol and a holder that holds it. NECA's just killing on this. Let me try to get this out. Tons of little paint detail on that. They're killing it. Looks amazing. You can put it in there. I'll try to put it back in there. It actually fits really tight. Alright, I think it's back in there. Then he comes with the backpack. You could get the backpack off, but why would you want to do that? I'm surprised that they didn't put any love for the paint on the backpack. Like, this is NECA. They usually like to show off and do cool stuff like that, but for this time, they didn't. Then he comes with this machine gun, also nice flat black paint, tons of detail on that, little silver accessories. They went the extra mile. I'm glad that they did. I'm really digging it. Then the glasses on that thing, God, they killed it on that. Like the clear lenses, you can actually see his eyes through there. He's got the camouflage mud on his face. Man, they did a good job on those glasses. They glued them on. I love that, man. God, the NECA is killing it. Like their action figures are $26. You can kind of see why. You got to figure if other action figures are $20, these are definitely worth an extra $6 because they kill it. And then I'm pretty sure this is an original one-off sculpt. It could be one of the other Marines, but who cares? It works. I just love it. The paint job on this thing, the detail on this thing, like look at all the little line work, the sculpting work on that. It really could not be any better. This thing is pretty much, to me, a perfect action figure. I'll go over the articulation really quick because I think they did a really good job. The head moves up top. The bottom of the neck moves also. There is like some weird kind of an ab crunch inside. The rubber jacket hides all that. I definitely like that. Then the arms are on a ball up top. That's one of the things. The gun the gun doesn't stay in the hand at all. It's horrible as far as that goes. The shoulders are on a ball. I think those work really good. They got a single elbow, no pin. That definitely looks clean. Look, digging that. And then I like how they put that swivel on there. The hands are also on a ball. You can't see any articulation there at all. Like it looks perfect. Like this is what an action figure is supposed to look like. The thigh cut on this thing, or the thigh joint, is also on a ball. Moves really well. No matter where you move it, you can't like see a part that isn't painted or isn't sculpted. So they killed it on that. Also, I mean, this thing would be like one of the best figures of the year if it was like a character that you actually cared about. It's not, but they did a really good job on it. Then it has a single knee which doesn't move a lot, which I'm sure a lot of you guys don't like. But look at this thing. It looks just as good when it's open, like when it's bent all the way, and you close it all the way, and it looks really good. I mean, looks-wise, you can't mess with that. That is just done really well. Then they have an ankle pivot, swivel. It will go in any direction. Not a lot, but enough. And then it also will move here like kind of a swivel. I dig that, man. Like, look, no pins anywhere on this action figure. This is how all action figures should be. I'm really sick of seeing pins in action figures. It kind of ruins it for me. NECA's doing a great job with that. My only complaint with this is that the gun could fit in the hand tight, and you'd have a place to put that knife, or a hand that could actually hold the knife. Then you have her. She also comes with an extra hand to put where this gun is if you want to have a fisted hand. Once again, the hand just barely holds the gun. If you just barely touch this, the gun will fall out, and that sucks. I mean, I'm going to put it in there, balance it in there, and that's just kind of it. If you mess with it too much, it will fall off. Her mask does come off. I think that's really cool that they did that. And then when they want to show off, they sculpt the inside of the mask. I love when they do that. It just really, if you want to take pictures of your figures, this is like a really cool option. Or if you want to have her hold the mask, and no matter how you display it, it looks really good. The articulation on this is also good, but for some reason they went with pins on this one, which I myself don't like. I know a lot of you guys don't really mind it, but I do. The face sculpt on this thing, it just looks a little too comic booky. Maybe that's why is because she is a comic book character. You know, I just like this look a little bit better. She looks good. It just looks a little too animated for me, but I'm sure it's probably spot on with the comic book. A nice cool little touch is these things do pull out of her gauntlet here. It's kind of hard to get them to come out. They don't come out very much, but they do pull out, so it's a nice little touch that they're doing that. It's a double jointed elbow, but they put pins in it, but at least they do the pins the same color as the action figure, so you got to give them a little credit for there. It's got this really nice ab crunch on it, and it also turns here at the lower waist, so plenty of movement there. Look at the paintwork on that with that like patina, like green, blue color, whatever, over like the metal finish. Man, they just really killed it with that. Really digging it. Kind of like a semi-thong back here in the back. I love how they paint all the fishnets on these figures. Definitely a cool action figure. Has her little laser cannon up here. This thing is like really flimsy. It won't really stand there. The hair on that, like she's got like braided hair to look like the Predator hair. Also a really cool touch. And then you come down here, she's got cool thighs. They can get a little gappy, but a woman with gappy thighs, I mean, is that really a bad thing? Let's be real here. And then a double jointed knee pins, but they hide the pins so well to where they almost don't bother me. I mean, they do bother me, but it's totally acceptable. Then if you look at the sculpt work on this, it's just NECA perfection. Like, they really did a good job. And this thing even has toe articulation, and you can't see any pin or anything on that. That's just NECA showing off. Like, they did a really good job on that. Really like that. And then it also has an ankle pivot. So definitely digging that. I'll put the gun back in her hand later. We'll go ahead and check out him. I love the weapons. This one doesn't really fit in the hand very good. It'll only fit in this hand because you're supposed to put his blaster in his hand. But I figured I could, wrap that around him, then have a sword in each hand. Otherwise, I don't really know where to put the swords. This thing is cool. He's got like that alien coming out of his chest, like part of his armor. Really killing it, man. I love it. He's gonna stand out in my Predator collection. That's the thing when I buy Predator figures. I want ones that like don't look like every other Predator, because you got to figure at $26 a pop. I want every one that I buy to look like a different one at this point. Because if they all just look the same, it's kind of hard to pull that trigger when they cost that much. I'll go ahead and spin it around for you and look at all sides of this thing. Once again, they killed it on the sculpt and the paint. Like, they just... I mean, it's definitely worth the extra $6 when you figure a Marvel Legend or a DC Multiverse or somebody is $20. Like, yeah, that's definitely cool. The articulation on this, there's nothing new here. And I've already went over 2 figures articulation, so... I'll save you the pain of my whiny voice for that. And then he's got like some weird, like, looks like he like sharded like really bad or something, because he's got like some splatter inside of there. That's like his skin color. You can see that it transfers down to his feet. It just looks like it's a little messy in between the legs. That's kind of a weird design. Like you think they would have put that someplace else. Maybe it's on the outside of the legs too and the armor covers it up. He's definitely cool. I'm going to throw all these up on my Predator shelf and show you what I think is an extremely cool Predator collection. Alright, so here's the new edition up here on the Predator shelf. Got them right up top, front and center. Scooted those other ones back. Give these new ones some love. Work your way down here. Here's a Predator dog. Love that. Really wish he'd make the new Predator dog for the last movie. I was actually one of the guys that actually really enjoyed that movie. Rick's down there, down by Arnold. My collection of Arnold. God, they made a lot of those. And then you come down one more shelf and you have all the Predators. And I don't have all the Predators if they look different, if they stand out a little bit, but they still kind of look like movie versions of Predator. Or they just look really cool like that Predator. Then I'll go ahead and pick them up. I try to pass on these things as often as I can. Just because, damn, they're just so expensive. 26 bucks a figure. And when you buy a figure and you put it on the shelf and it looks like every other figure, it's kind of hard to justify. There's the collection. Thanks for watching.